Hello there, good evening, welcome to The Couch. My name is Markiza Micheline Latifa and I am going to be sitting in for your regular host, none other but Mommy Ama Pratt. It's such a lovely evening and I'm sure that you've had like a fruitful day and all of that. It's been lovely and so on. It promises to be even more exciting as you get to watch The Couch right here on Pan-African television, and we are also across some 46 neighboring countries and in some parts of Europe, and I'm happy to have your company for the next few minutes. Tonight we're going to be discussing something very important. The conversation is going to be about philanthropic work and how important it is to reach out to people who are, you know, not so privileged. I mean, half of the times I say that some of us are, you know, privileged enough to have some of the basic necessities of life. We're able to do certain things, afford certain things as well. And it's not all of us who are able to do that. When you look at the five fingers, you know that they are not equal. So at every point in time in your life, when you get the opportunity to help someone, please do not hesitate to do it, because there are many people out there who really need that sort of help. So that is going to be our conversation for tonight. And I am privileged to have in the studios with me two people who are doing tremendously well for themselves and for other people as well. They have taken it upon themselves to reach out to people who are not able to fend for themselves, and then also have other projects that we're going to be talking about tonight. So let's take this quick breather. When we come back, I would introduce our guest and then we continue the conversation. You're welcome back. Thank you so much for choosing to stay with us, and thank you for joining us tonight. If you've just tuned in, as I said earlier, we're going to be having a very lengthy conversation about philanthropic work and all that revolves around it. So my guest in the studio with me tonight, we have Benjamin Kwame Opari. He is the founder of Ben F Foundation. I hope I got that right. Hi, good evening. How are you doing?
Yeah, we are doing fine.
I think you should pronounce the name again, because I must have missed something with the foundation.
That is it. Ben MF. Ben
MF. Yes. You're welcome.
Thank you.
We are happy to have you in the studios.
We are happy to be here.
Right. Also in the studios with me is Dr. Wanda Evans Brewer, partnering with the founder of Ben MF Foundation. Hi. You look lovely.
Thank you so much.
I was telling you off air how I loved your hair.
Oh, yes, you were. Thank you.
We are happy to have you in the studio.
I'm happy to be here.
How are you feeling tonight?
Really good. Yeah, you got it nice and cool for a polar bear in Africa.
Right. Right. It's exciting to be here with all of you to have this very important conversation. So let's get straight into it. Ben MF Foundation. How did that start?
Oh, okay. Benjamin is an individual person from the Volta region of Ghana, specifically Piki. I started this when I was not registered. There was a time that I used to organize a quiz for schools. There was a time I went to the community to make a little research. And I found out that a lot of people in the junior high don't know some of the courses they will do when they go to the senior high. So I made some little research. So I asked them, I asked pupils, I asked students, what do you want to become in future? Some will say, maybe I want to become a doctor. And then, if you want to become a doctor, what course do you think you can do at the senior high level to become a doctor? And then some mentioned maybe visual art or some other things. So I realized there was a gap over there. So I also came out with a program known as Career Fair. So the Career Fair, I invited a doctor, a teacher, different professions. So they were able to tell the students how you can become whatever you want to become in future. And apart from that, I did a lot of programs like tree planting exercise, drafted mangoes, etc.
Okay.
And those are the time that I was not registered as an organization. So the registration itself started around 2019.
Wow.
And then we have some projects done already. So we are always building
upon those projects.
The old ones.
Wow.
Yes.
That's really exciting. Let me bring you into the conversation at this point. How long has it been since working? Were you in the picture since the inception of?
No, actually,
Okay.
I became his partner in 2022, and we're coming up on a 2-year anniversary.
Right.
It would be like August 1st, somewhere in there. It would be 2 years that we partnered together. So he saw some of the things I was doing, particularly those mini libraries.
Okay.
And he reached out to me and asked me would I like to plant one in Pecky, and I said absolutely. And at that time he thought he had to pay for it. I said, no, the library is my gift to you. I'm an academic, I'm a PhD, I'm a long-time teacher. I've taught every level, preschool, grammar school, high school, and the collegiate level. So the value of the book, of reading and writing in any group is massive. Like, it doesn't matter what you're trying to focus
Right.
on, you need it. And so the gift of literacy, and he liked it. He also knew that that was a gap from his community, and that was the beginning of a really good part. It was actually supposed to only be that, but we end up liking so much of one another's work that, again, you build off the old, and it just led to more new.
Okay, so I mean, how's the experience been so far? I mean, part 3 with him. It's been 2 years of, being on board. You bring on board, the mini libraries and all of that as well. You want to share any other, projects that?
Well, the partnership is what I would say is vital. There was a woman one time looking at some of our work just online, and she said, and I have to quote her because she really sort of captures what the power of it is. She said, Dr. Wanda and Benjamin united, and they make magic. And so there are things in the partnership that he gave me, because like him, I was already working. Like, he did not inspire me.
You're already working on your project.
Was a litany, and I've been a grassroots activist for years. So, but what Benjamin brought to me was, one, he's a kinsman. This is his people, okay? And he understands the terrain and the customs and culture. So any sort of teaching and training I need to maneuver, he's assisted me with that. Then he speaks the various languages, the language itself, and then the sub-language, because there's a way that you maneuver as people that he understands, and so he's helped with that. And then anytime that I'm getting access, I mean, problems are everywhere. But when you're trying to specifically be impactful, he has opened up the community where, it's one thing to go there, it's another thing to have the land opened up for you and welcome you. So these are some of the things that he's assisted me with, besides just basic, the pecking order of things, protocol. So I'm sort of a spoiled diasporan because of him. For him, I am a consummate, I'm a hard worker, I'm a fundraiser, and I'm a master micro fundraiser. So I don't do big grants and go after corporate, and I believe that the money is actually among the common man. He just oftentimes doesn't release it, or he doesn't always want to be a part of a particular program, but he may like another. So I don't put pressure on people. You can get in where you fit in. Well, okay. And if you don't like something and all you want to do is pray for me, that's fine. If you want to, if you want to give us an opportunity to link with someone in your network, that's fine. If you want to host something for us,
any form of help.
Yes, any form of help. But don't feel like it's always got to be finance, because sometimes the person loves you, they like what you're doing, but they just don't have it. So we have accepted each other's philosophies on that, and yeah, so that's what makes the partnership more than a mini library. It's really about the coming together of two different type of thinking mindsets and managing to mesh them well, where we can go out and do good impact work.
Right, right. This is so inspiring. I mean, it's always exciting to find people who are every now and then thinking of, you know, the ordinary person, you know, out there who does not really know how to go about things on their own. So it's really inspiring to find people like you do what you do. But Benjamin, let me bring you into the conversation again, because I know that it's beyond the mini libraries.
Yeah.
So before we delve deeper into where we could find these mini libraries and how you go about it, how you reach out to people and get them there and all of that, what other, you know, aspects of the philanthropic work should we we're looking at? Okay.
So another area is, I am an environmental health officer, so okay. I work in Tema. And, you know, open defecation is one of the problems that we are facing in Ghana. There are so many houses, even in Accra, without a household toilet. So where did they go? It means some goes to the bush, some goes to the washroom, into the polythene bags, and they throw it somewhere, which is not good. And I also look at the communities, and I look at individuals' homes, and I realize there are a lot of people who may wish to have their own home toilet, but they cannot just afford it. There are a lot of people that are, even where I live, there is a house close to me. They don't have it. So what I see is they will go to the bathroom, do it there, and then they throw it behind. So because of that, the behind their house is overgrowth of weeds, because that is where
which is also a health concern.
Yeah, health concern. So, and some of these things are there. Even in Ashama, when you are going to Ashama before the overbreak, right now when you get there are a lot of people squatting there doing those things because the facility is not there. So, with the person I'm talking to in front of, behind my house, I spoke with them, and I spoke with Dr. Wanda, and then we got them a toilet, a complete toilet.
Wow.
And I tell you, the first week that they had a toilet, behind there was weeded, they cleared the place, and all the time the place is clean. And that toilet, when I get up every morning, I see it, and I feel excited. Yeah, I feel fulfilled. So, and then with the toilet, last year we built 34.
34 washrooms?
Yes. Wow. We even built one for the taller giant in Gambaga.
Okay.
I think his nickname is Awuchi. That tall guy is our 9
the really tallest guy in Ghana also.
Yes. His was customized though. That took us a little bit more.
I mean, looking at how he looks like, it's...
Yes.
Yeah. That was more effort, more work.
Yeah. And then this year, we also built additional 4. Additional 4. There's one in Volivo.
Okay.
Volivo is part of Accra, but it's a deprived area.
Here in Accra?
Yeah, in Accra. It's around Asuchari.
Okay.
And he's a disabled man who also, they have something. I call it pit, open pit. That is what they were using. And the open pit is not different from somebody who is practicing open defecation. We first of all went there last year to give out mathematical set to people who are writing their final exam, junior high school students.
The BEC.
So that was when we met him. He was given a wheelchair, and Dr. Wanda and I promised that we'll get him a toilet.
Because it sort of hit me when we distributed the wheelchair to him because he can't use his legs.
Yeah.
But listen, he's by no means you know, disabled. He's enabled. He does his job as a cobbler. He works on shoes. He works on book bags. Like I was really inspired by him. But we both thought, I said, I happened to ask Ben as we was leaving, I said, where does he relieve himself? Yeah. Because when we were at his place, we didn't see a toilet, but we met his wife and family members, and it turned out he didn't have one. So I said, here's somebody dragging half of their body. So they can't really, he can't stand up and squat. So what is he doing with himself? And so when we saw the open pit, that was a little unnerving. Because there was like 50 flies. Yeah. And they had like a fisherman's net over it. And even with that, like the flies were fighting. Do you understand?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so he's not going through that now.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm sure they're like so thankful to you for, you know, coming through. But I mean, before you continue, I'm wondering, how are you able to, you know specifically, or how are you connected to these people to be able to, you know, render this help to them? I'm sure there's a way. How do you encounter them?
Okay.
Tell the truth.
So maybe you can start and then she finishes off on that question.
We were here some time ago for interview, and we spoke about it. Through that, a lot of people called.
Wow.
But personally, me as a person, I go around to, like, when you come to where I live today, I can close my eye and point out 100 houses who don't have it.
How do you know?
Because I live in that community.
There. And I'm sure you engage the people in the community.
Yes, and I pass by every day, and so you see somebody living in just one room, and you see them squatting. Yeah. You see some of them squatting on the street, and you know that they don't have it. But sometimes question them too. Where do you go to toilet? And they tell you that some manage to pay for
the public
washroom, but it's not all the time that they have the means. So they sometimes do the open defecation. Yeah.
Oh, and I mean, I see a picture of. You want to share with us what the story behind this one is?
That's the one in Palm.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually my community. Okay. So that family heard about what we were doing and reached out and said, is it possible? They had a space already, because normally we work to build a structure, but they were already working, they just didn't have a toilet. And so, yeah, we helped them get it.
And I see another structure on our screens right now.
That's their biodigester. Because that's what we do. We do the biodigester toilet.
Okay. So, wow. And where's this one located?
That's behind that same spot in Pong.
In Pong, okay. And there are a lot more photos rolling over.
That's I don't know how to describe that area.
It's community 3.
Yeah.
Community 3. And these are the beneficiaries, I guess.
Yeah,
the women in the.
And we usually give them, like you see her with her starter kit. We give them a bundle of tea roll. We give them the toilet brush. We give them some disinfect to encourage them. Take care of your toilet.
Wow.
Take care of your toilet.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's very important.
It's a huge gift.
Yeah. And they look so happy. And
well, you see,
I am really
she was
impressed.
Pregnant. What is? So you understand? She can't be nothing but happy. She was pregnant, and she was toward the end of her pregnancy.
Okay. This is the Volivo.
Oh, the Volivo. That's the.
Don't get mad at me.
Physically challenged person that you have.
Sorry for saying the same.
Okay, keep going. Physically challenged.
I mean, disability is not inability.
Yeah.
So, this is really great stuff. Like, it's so impressive, and I'm sure there are not a lot of people who think about. I mean, you were inspired to do this because you are yourself from you are an environmentalist, if I should put it that way. So you know and appreciate and understand the concerns that comes with open defecation and not having a sanitary environment with which you could, relieve yourself when nature calls and all of that as well. But for you coming into it. Irrespective of the fact that you're bringing on board the mini libraries and all of that, now you are taking on the whole, going around helping people who don't have washrooms, giving them good structures and all of that.
Well, this is the thing. When I first traveled to the country in 2019, I traveled with my own portable toilet. Ghana is not my first African nations. So I've been to South Africa, Uganda, Tanzania. So facing the issue with toilets is across the continent. It's actually, and it's not even just Africa. You know, the West thinks that most people have toilets, but actually most people don't. So I was aware of the issue, and then so in East Africa, I learned to use the squatty, the ceramic squatty. But all of it is unnatural for me the way I was raised. In American homes, everybody has a toilet. That's a standard structure in a home. But part of the power of working with Benjamin is that we both are golden hearts, meaning that it doesn't have to be our problem for us to care about it. So yeah, I have empathy. You know, I've been sick before and needed to go to the bathroom, and I'm trying to imagine, you know, if you have diarrhea and you're running off, what do you do? If you're vomiting and diarrhea, if you just had a baby, if you're transitioning to leave this world and you can't hold yourself anymore. So my heart opened up because for me it's unfair that a country with so much wealth, and resources, and then a beautiful people. It's not like, you know, like some places you go and you see a people and they're living primitively by choice. Okay, they haven't advanced. But Ghana, you got cell phones and this and that, and you got the mall and this. And it's like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? You have, you know, these massive churches. No. You can have a toilet. You should have a toilet. So, you know, we're committed to, you know, lift humanity even one toilet at a time. We just kind of agreed on that in our partnership.
Right. I mean, I keep saying that it's very inspiring that you've identified a field like that and you're working towards getting people very sanitary, you know, structures where they could ease themselves and all of that as well. But let's take the conversation straight into the mini library, which is where you're going to, you know, tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, you know, literacy matters. And the more empowered a people is in terms of education, your ability to read and write go hand in hand. And then you can't feel good about yourself when you don't know anything about yourself. So the mini library always has at least 100 Afrocentric books. Okay. So and they're written by black authors or black images or black subject matter, just because in general, you know, we tend to be a low self-esteem group. We tend not to value ourselves as much as we should. So best to start a more positive mindset with the youth so that they grow into understanding their own gifts and their own greatness. And but then there's just basic things, phonics, you know, consonant sounds, all of this stuff that matter to me. And so yeah, I know that in order for any nation to move forward, you have to master your own tongue and the King's English, okay? So, and I have a empathy for that, because for us in America, it was against the law to teach a slave to read and write. That was illegal, and many of us died because we were trying to learn that. And then initially, then at some point, they allowed us to read the Bible because it disciplines you, it keeps you meek. Well, you know, we weren't really able to come into any sort of power until we were able to educate ourselves in law, in trades, and all sorts of things, that we was able to even reach back to help the others. And so, yeah, the mini libraries are, that's my baby. If I had to pick one, that's just my baby.
I see how passionate you are about talking about it.
And so I'm blessed that I managed to link with a partner that also feel strongly about literacy.
Right.
Yeah, so that's
okay,
what that
so
is.
we look on the screens right now, and then we see, I think it's some book school supplies.
We have Shiloh.
And
yeah.
Okay. So there's a list of schools you actually.
That's Ajiri.
Okay.
Zenu.
Yeah. So what's the structure like? Is it like you take these books to the schools?
Now I have, because we used to give them the actual physical house, like just a mini library house, and then the books. We also give academic resources that to accompany it. It's not just books.
So now it's a combination of both. You have the mini libraries themselves, and then now you take school
because if let's say that you already have shelves, then you get the books.
Okay.
So some places they have shelves, they have bookcases, they just have no books.
Okay.
Yeah, and so the goal is pleasure reading, and then all that other material that maybe you don't get access to, some of the chapter reading novels that you want to read, nice strong biographies, and I mix it up. Yeah,
because I was going to ask what books you take to them. What genre? Is it fiction? Is it books that are supposed to make them, like, what kind of books specifically?
If you want to know the truth, it's all of them. Because if one nation is known for its folklore, then you get a little bit of that. If another nation, for example, one person I'm always putting in the library is Malcolm X's autobiography. I put Winnie Mandela's autobiography. Now you would think, why Malcolm and why Winnie? Because you're talking about two different revolutionaries, yes.
Absolutely.
That you should know something about. It varies. Some people only left us poetry. So yeah, if you was interested in the writings of Dennis Brutus, then you're gonna get that. That amazing poet out of South Africa. But then I'm also gonna give you Nikki Giovanni, that amazing poet out of U.S. So it depends. But what you will always have is find a little bit of yourself, and a little bit of history and lineage in it, and then of course the stuff that you need for mastery. You need to understand the phonics of a language. You need to understand, you need to have a healthy vocabulary. You need to understand how consonants and vowels and diphthongs and all that type of stuff works. So it's that stuff. And then I just like pleasure. I like things that bring pleasure, like word finds, fun puzzles, manipulative.
So they get all of that.
Yeah. Wow. I mix it up. I'm a true academic.
It's exciting. I mean, education is one of the most powerful tools that we can use to change the world. So it really is important for us to be, conscious, aware, and all of that. But let me bring you into the conversation. How's that going for you as well? The mini libraries, the books, literacy, education, and all of that.
It's a good project, because even the one that we have in our village, I can tell you now there is a competition. Like the people, they are doing well.
Wow.
Yeah, they are doing well. We don't have, when you go to most villages, it's hard to see even library.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to see libraries. But
it's only a few.
Yeah, so I can tell you some of the schools in the Volta region, they have more books to learn, and it's helping. Yeah.
Right. So, let's talk about feedback. What are some of the feedbacks you get in relation to the mini books? The mini libraries?
The biggest feedback we get is that they pass our name on, and we end up installing another library.
Wow.
Because some of these spaces that we've gone into, they were not our choice spaces. They were people who said, hey, would you bring us one? We need books. And so that's why 2024 has been, I think we've done about 8 to 9 libraries, because they've called us. They've literally contacted me or contacted him and said, would you bring the books? And so this is the agreement I have with them. We bring you the 100 books. Now we've kind of gotten like 100 plus, okay? Now, if we come back and you've taken good care of your books, we install 100 more.
Okay.
But if you have mistreated your library, because the need is so plentiful, why should we place something there that you're not even going to take care of?
Maintenance. It's important to have maintenance.
Well, and not teaching the students, don't tear up your books. Don't write in your books. Don't steal from your own library, because you're taking the learning from the next person. So it's all of those things. And so far, what would you say, Mr. Opari?
Yeah, so far
so good.
So far, so good.
So good,
It's been great. And when you get to interact with, it's mostly students, the youth and all of that, when you get to interact with them, would you say that this is actually, how would you say this is helping them?
Well, I release, in fact, we just released one yesterday. I release a writing contest.
Wow.
Probably about every 2 to 3 months. And so they don't really have to tell us, because we're coming back because you got this contest. And with the contest, I always put an amazing prize.
Okay.
And so it's competitive writing in that you're trying to get this prize, but it requires you to read, to write, to proofread, to do a little bit of research. You understand? You have to take this serious, because what you're shooting for is serious, but it's still all within fun. So the teachers or the administrators, they usually give us positive feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that makes your heart very happy. My heart is very happy knowing that there's something like, because I love reading, and my boss loves reading even more. You can see our studio decorated with books.
I was peeping your stuff. Yeah.
And all of that.
Let me tell you my favorite book that I saw that you have that I rarely see, that I give to schools. You have a thesaurus.
Oh, okay.
And that's people know the dictionary.
There's a whole mini library behind us.
They know the dictionary, but the power of the thesaurus helps you actually find other words that are similar, or opposite.
A true academic you are.
Yeah.
Schooling as and all of that. I mean, so I see a list of there's a Wonderlands mini library, there's the Oprah Winfrey, there's a Perez School. Would you want to walk us through some of them? Who should I go to? You, and then you take us off.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so these schools are some are in Tema.
Okay.
The Shiloh Community School is in Tema Community 7. The Oprah Winfrey is in Tema Newtown. God's Way Academy, Tema Newtown.
Okay, so there's some photos on our screens yet again.
Okay.
Oh, that's for the eyeglass fair, but God's Way Academy.
So we'll talk about that too
in
a bit, but maybe when we are done talking about the mini books, then we'll talk about the eyeglass fair as well. So
yeah.
So we've Lilonia out in the Dow. We have them. I wouldn't call it. Well, it's a mini library, but they got their second installment of books.
Wow.
Who else?
There's the 4 basic school.
Yeah, I mean,
there's one in Piki, Ajokwe RC Primary.
Yeah. Where's Mafasco? In Ashima.
Yes, in Ashima.
Yeah.
So you cut across the length and breadth of Ghana, or are there just specific regions you've done?
No, we do.
You've done Volta region.
We try to.
Yeah, we done Volta region.
We try to, but remember, if you call us out, you don't call me, we ain't coming. Okay. So these are people who they're educators, they're teachers, they're administrators. Somebody saw us and said, would you bring us a mini library? And we bring it. And it's on our own dime, our own energy set aside. I sat and assembled and go through the books, and I let him look and see what his thoughts are. And then we in the car and we're rolling.
But beyond reaching out to you, I'm sure there must be a way you also find, I mean, you look at places where you think they need these mini libraries to help them, become more educated, help them in terms of their literacy. I don't want
to be dishonest. I don't.
Okay.
Because the need.
I like the honesty, actually.
The need is so great.
Yeah.
And there's something about what flows from the heart reaches the heart.
Yeah.
If you really want this, you know what you're gonna do. You're gonna ask for it.
Right.
You're gonna do everything you can. So I love it when we learn that someone actually wanted it, and that's why those places thrive. They take care of their libriaries because
they know what it means to have these things, and they
as
want
opposed
it
to
as
just assuming and then pushing something there. Yeah.
Yeah, they call like the Vulevu one.
Okay.
Darfur, Vulevu, one of the communities Darfur.
Okay.
There's some member called, and then we went.
So at this point, should we put a number across yet again so that if people want to reach out to you or an email, you're overwhelmed, I guess.
We can leave maybe our social media
handles. Yeah. You go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
So we might pop it up on the screen.
So in all social media handles, Beneme Foundation.
Okay, so Beneme
on TikTok,
Foundation.
on Facebook, and
everywhere. We can reach out to you through there.
Yes. Please.
Okay, perfect. I mean, let's bring the conversation into funding, because a lot of philanthropic work revolves around funds. I mean, in the beginning of our conversation, you happen to have said that any form of help is welcome. You don't necessarily have to bring in money. You can, donate things, even giving you airspace. All of these things count as, funding. So how do you really fund this project?
Just the way I told you at the beginning. The thing is, I am a 35-year educator. And I'm one of the few PhDs that actually taught every level. So I was somebody's preschool teacher. I was their grammar school teacher. I was their high school. I taught high school 17 years.
Wow.
I started teaching at the collegiate level in 2009. So you have to imagine, if you have been impactful in the classroom, and you have to think back to your favorite teachers, your students remember you. They simply remember you. So 2/3 of my students are now functioning adults.
Right.
And I just happen to be blessed to be in a season where we have social media, and they remember their teacher. They remember her. And the thing about the inner city experience is that we don't just teach. We have to deal with all of the social, emotional issues coming to the classroom. So we get children who parents are involved in the penal system. The parents are in addiction programs. They're being raised by their grandparents. Some of our students are involved in the penal system. They're part of all sorts of trauma. Okay, but no matter what, children, whether you see a child kill somebody, or they've been harmed, or gangs, these come through teachers. They have sat in front of a teacher, and they remember whether you helped them, whether you disciplined them, whether you were unfair, whether you allow students to pick at them. And so I happen to do well with my students. I always had strong classrooms. I didn't allow bullying. I always was about making the classroom exciting and fun. I didn't care if you was a thug. I didn't care if you just got out of jail. When you came to my classroom, you put on your thinking cap. It's time to learn. Let's get busy. So now you move that forward. I also had colleagues and friends and parents who had good experiences with me. That network follows me. Do you understand? That's an amazing network that not only understands the mission. They said this lady has been doing grassroots work for years, and so it just so happens. That's why it's called Wonderland.
Yeah.
Wherever I land, I serve, and so that affection and support has followed me now to God.
Wow. It's like a whole journey from your interaction with your students, they growing up and realizing how tremendously you've impacted their lives and the cycle, continuing. And I want to touch a bit more on funding, or she summed it up. Right, okay, so we saw a photo, which it's not on the screen yet, but you mentioned that it had to do with the eye.
It was our second
free eyeglass fair.
Yes.
In Utah. I want to talk a bit about that. Let's get the conversation rolling.
Well, to be honest with you, we started the eyeglass fair as a fluke. Someone asked us, they wanted to donate us some glasses and frames, and I said I'd love to have them because I wanted to actually help the elders with reading glasses, because I notice a lot of times I don't see old people with glasses, but I know that the eye ages like everything else. Yeah. And so we started off looking for reading glasses, and then
you have it.
We got a massive donation of glasses and children's frames as well.
Okay.
So I went to Benjamin.
Oh, that's a lot of glasses.
He found us an optometrist. He worked everything out with the optometrist. We agreed this time, because this was our second one, because he held one when I was back in the States. We picked God's Way Academy because we had the children there. It's right in the middle, and he can pick up from there.
Okay, so you pick it up from there.
So this is the second one.
Okay.
The first one was done in Tema Metropolitan Assembly. That was my office, the public health unit. But there are others, because we did a poster, so other people from the communities also
reached out.
To reach out, and
Okay.
and it was wonderful. A lot of people had their glasses for free.
Wow.
They have a bin in the States where they collect used glasses.
Okay.
And normally they do it for veterans or seniors.
Okay.
And so I met an amazing woman, Renee Sweetwine, who simply asked them, said, I know a lady, she's doing great work in Africa. She works with an NGO there. Could they have it? And then they gave it to us. So her gifting us the original glasses and us posting about it had other people look at their own waste. Like, look, I have 4 pair of glasses in here. You're welcome. You understand? Other people started collecting for us, and that's why you see such a hearty set of glasses, because people get inspired.
Free eyeglasses fair. I see that. I think that's the recently held one.
That's the recent one.
The one there. And what was the participation level? What would you say?
Well, we gave the first 50 free, so we definitely.
The first one we had like 148 people. Yeah, the first one that we did at Tema.
Yeah,
148 people. Yeah.
Wow, and they were all catered for?
Yes. there are few people who doesn't get their eye, but there are few, less than 10.
And that's because the optometrist these glasses they already have the medicine in them.
Okay.
So he gave them their examination, and then he matched the glasses with the person.
Yeah.
But for some people, one eye is healthy and the other eye is worse. Mm-hmm. And so that would be the type of people who didn't end up getting glasses.
Okay.
Because now what we would have to do is come up with monies to cover them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so to keep it cost effective for us, if you fit and you walked away with glasses, and then we will figure out a way out of that kink next time. But a lot of people got blessed.
Wow. It's exciting because I hear that you had an optometrist there who was also, doing the eye checks to ensure that, these people are screened before they get their glasses and all of that as well. Anything else you'd want to share on the eyeglass project?
Well, I'm going to say this for anybody that wants to do it. And see, this is where it gets back to having a great partner. I cannot walk around and talk to the optometrist. You understand?
Yeah.
I don't have the skill set. I don't know them well enough to do that. But Benjamin could, and so he was able to find us an optometrist, and we was able to settle on the amount we would pay him, because he cannot be there as a professional all day for free.
Yeah.
And so we were able to get him to work with us. And so in charity, everybody wins, but everybody has to sacrifice a little. So he just found us a really good guy that gave us a good deal, that was financially manageable. What we could not manage, we got a few other people to support, so that's why it was helpful. So anybody can have an eyeglass fair. That's what I mean by everything doesn't have to be money. Somebody, donated over 500 glasses to us. Mm-hmm. Yes. So that's greater than money, because he and I could have never bought 500 glasses, right? So, and then we had enough to respect our optometrist and give him at least a healthy stipend for his time and his day.
Wow, interesting. I mean, there's a lot going on with both of you and Ben MF Foundation. I hope I got it right this time. Right. Yeah. I don't know why I keep struggling with it. There really is a lot going on, and it's so inspiring. I'm sure anybody who's watching us is touched. They are excited that there's something like this going on, from, providing public washrooms to persons who do not have, to the mini libraries. That is very interesting to have. Equipping people with the requisite knowledge, the skill sets, literacy, education, and all of that is very important. And now we're going to delve into another exciting aspect of everything, which is the Wakanda Forever essay writing.
That's the latest essay.
Okay.
I have a beautiful lady, Gina Mickelson. She's been supporting me, following me, cheering for me since the time that I was serving in Uganda. And so, and she shops independently. Like, she just goes on her own, and she will ship us a box. And then this box was, among other things, it's always, books and black baby dolls and that kind of thing. But this time she gave us some Wakanda Forever dolls. And in the storyline, T'Challa has gone. His sister is now taking on the leadership role. And so her two superpowers is her intelligence and her ability to work with technology, because she's the one that makes all the phenomenal suits and all that kind of thing. And so, the writing contest is you're asking 10 of the best writers, 10 of the best female writers in the school to step forward.
Female writers?
I want girls, yes,
okay.
Because he'll tell you I do switch back and forth, but this time it's girls.
So this is a second of its kind. This
is the set. Well, no, this is one of many, but in terms of this one, this turn is girl. This time it's girls.
Okay.
They just have to tell me what they believe their superpowers are. Yeah. And how can those two superpowers help Shuri move Wakanda forward? And that's it. And so it will require them to use their imagination, also self-reflect, and I want it to be a 200-word essay.
Okay.
And they know from the last time, go through and proof yourself. And this time they cannot go on the internet and copy. Okay.
Or even use what's it called?
AI.
Chats, GPT, and all of that, because there's a lot of that all over.
They have to write.
So you have to be very creative.
You have to, And so I want, because the truth is, and you're a working professional. At some point, your boss asks you to do something, and you literally have to pull it out from yourself. You have to know how to do that. Yeah, there's no book that you can glance at. There's nobody can do that. You have to come up with the ideas. And so, that's our latest essay writing contest.
And okay, so what's the age range for those who are going to participate in this
the Form 2 class? The Form 2.
Junior high? That's
junior high school. Yeah. And the school is, the school writing this one is Shiloh.
Okay, so there's a specific school.
Yes.
I usually pick out a school. Rarely do I do multiple schools at the same time, because what I work with is the resources that we receive. So in this box was those dials, and so we're going to work with that until we don't have any more. And then she sent like 9. So we can have this contest a couple of places. So you win the dial, you win a coloring book with the crayons, and then you also win the a piece of light literature that's about all the things you can be.
Wow. Wow. I see it on the screen.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting. I wish I could participate. Am I qualified? Why am I not qualified? I want to also write. I want to exhibit my creativity. Put pen on paper and then write something exciting. Are you not going to?
You know what? Okay, let me say this, because you don't walk yourself into something. I want you to do it.
Okay.
Because what I'm going to do is because you can always email us.
Am I in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble. Do you have a baby? Do you have a niece?
Me?
Yes.
I do.
Okay. So another dial will come to you, and you can give it to your niece, your daughter, your whatever. Okay.
Okay.
But I'm going to share your writing with them. Or we'll take your audio file. We'll have we'll take it, blow it up, and they can hear you read your essay. So you'll also inspire them.
Wow.
Do you understand? So let's do this, girl. We got that.
I just forced my way into it and all of that. So 200-word essay.
Superpowers, how they move Wakanda forward.
Okay, and this is for 10 female writers in a Shiloh Community School.
Community 7.
Community 7. What's the deadline for this? I'm sure they have all the details.
It's the 19th.
The 19th of this month?
Yes.
That's when it ends. Okay, so walk us through the reward again.
You're going to get the Shuri doll. You'll get her action figure. You also get Girls Like Me book, which is one that builds up your self-esteem and your self-worth, your self-efficacy. And then you get a really fun coloring book, or it's a word find that you can go and do.
All of that?
STEM activities,
I like how you, this is also going to empower them, at a very young age to, look towards the future, what they want to do, how to be problem solvers themselves, because the essay revolves around, what she can do to move Wakanda forward. So this is like them also thinking of creative ways to solve problems. That's when they ever encounter any, and to make them empowered young women, to make them grow up to be empowered young women themselves as well. Because we're always sitting down saying, we need to empower women, we need to empower women. I think that we have to empower ourselves, and it starts from, initiatives like this. And it makes my heart very happy, especially when things revolve around, the development of the girl child, the young woman, and all of that, because we are long overdue for these kinds of conversations and these kinds of initiatives, and it makes my heart very happy. I have been really inspired by this conversation.
Thank you.
Just looking at you, I'm like, wow, what a Wonder Woman she is. Next time we'd have to have a conversation about your personality and how all of this started. I'm sure my producer would sort that out with my boss herself, and then with you as well, and everything that you have talked about today. But before I leave, or before we wrap up with this segment of the show, is there anything that we have left out of the conversation that you'd want to put across?
So like I said earlier, that open defecation is a challenge. you might be staying at East Legon, where they have those facilities, but somebody can move food from Ashama to those areas. You might be staying at Cantonment. Somebody can move food from Ashama to Cantonment. So we are all at risk. So I'm telling everybody to contact us. You can support a family. If you can support, maybe you can call and say, maybe I wanted to support a family.
Okay.
And then you support the family.
Oh, I think we left out the conversation about the Mercy Ministry focus. Is that it? You know, the family of 9 who was living in the kiosk in Pune with no electricity, no running water, no job and all of that. We want to talk a bit about that before we wrap up.
Okay.
Well, let me say this with that. That's about, for some people, they're looking for a way to give back. And some things are right outside your doorstep.
Okay.
And so it's not a bad thing. Everything doesn't have to be big numbers, and everything doesn't have to be schools or, you know, book bags and, you know, minstrel campaigns. Like, sometimes it's just a family.
Within your community.
Yeah, and it's just a family. And what you're doing in that family is huge. This is a family of 9 in a kiosk with no water, no lights, no electricity, no, you know, there's no working adult to my knowledge. Although we recently got a donation to help the mom start a business.
And how old is the mom
business
again?
that she wants?
She said she wanted to sell fruits.
And the soap.
Yeah, and the soap. Yeah.
And
So,
how old is this mom again?
if I had to guess, maybe 35, 40. Yeah.
Wow.
But and her kids are stair steps. Like, she was having one every year. So, and then, you know, our biggest concern again is the infant, because he's the most helpless, and then he's the most delayed. So it doesn't take a lot to care. You don't, I mean, this is their life. You understand? Like, me and Benjamin, under no illusion that we're about to change their whole life. We're not. But
it starts from somewhere.
It has to start from somewhere. And then some stuff is just too painful to ignore. Like, the other day we had that severe rainstorm. And the baby and all of them are inside that kiosk. And they have, you know, rice bags and pieces of wood they've put up there to try to shield themselves. But at the end of the day, the truth is, it's not a proper home. They should not be there. They actually need proper housing. So this country doesn't have what we have. We have Section 8. We have low-income housing. You know, the social worker would have came out and already placed that family. Even if it wasn't the best, it would be, you know, relatively secure. They don't have that. So we try to give them enough to be at least functional. We've given them clothes. We've cooked for them. If I had my way, I wished the women in the community would all give like maybe a half a cup of rice, and on Sunday we cook for them. We haven't had that blessing, so we've had people from the outside send us money, and believe it or not, he did the cooking. He did two things. He did the shopping and the cooking, and you know, I just serve and make everything nice and organized and sweet for them, and then, you know, they would go on. So yeah, so now we're focusing just on the baby, because sometimes it don't look like he gonna make it another week.
Yeah.
You know, because he's exposed to all kinds of infections, and you know, the skin is our biggest organ, and his little body just takes it in. And then mom is malnourished because she's a teenager. Oh my God. That milk is that's not the best milk in the world. So we try to give mom a little bit of nourishment so that he can be better. But sometimes it feels like we're making headway, and sometimes it feels like a Band-Aid. But one of my friends, she says, help is helping. It's still help. Yeah. So we just do the best that we can.
Indeed, help is helping. You wanted to add something before we wrap up?
Yeah. So like I said, the community members were saying the baby is a cursed baby because of the situation in which he is in. And it's sad.
Very sad.
Very sad. So anybody around, if you are hearing this and you wanted to support, you can come around. We'll take you there and you support them.
Absolutely.
Because they need our help.
Absolutely, indeed. It starts with you who's watching us tonight. Make it a conscious effort. As she said, help is helping, right? Help is helping. So anyway, at all that you can help, please reach out to them on their social media. Benemef Foundation and Dr. Wanda on every social media platform. Please reach out to them if you have any help whatsoever to give to them or to render any service, anything at all that will be of help to the next person who is seated across the table. Please do not hesitate to do it, because indeed it really starts with you. That's the point of having this whole conversation tonight about philanthropic work, about reaching out to the next person seated across the table. So please don't hesitate to help at any point in time when you really can. And I've been in conversation for the first part of the show with Benjamin Kwame Opari, who is the founder of Benemef Foundation, and also Dr. Wanda Evans Brewer, his partner. And we have been having conversations around their projects, from, the mini libraries to providing washrooms to communities that are not so advantaged, to the writing competition, and so on. And it's been a lovely conversation, but we will be back. Right, welcome back to the couch with me, Makiza Latif. I'm sitting in for your regular host, none other than Mami Ama Pratt. Good evening once again, and we are on to the next aspect of the conversation tonight. And as I indicated earlier, the conversation tonight is about philanthropic work and everything that has to do with it. So right about now, I have joining me in the studios Pizza Diodu. He's giving me really serious caution about mentioning his name, and I hope I got it right. And he is the founder for Information Technology for Youth Ghana, and he is in the studios with me tonight. Hi.
Hello.
I hope I didn't murder the name. You were very particular. You're very particular about how I was going to mention it.
In fact, you've tried. You got it on point.
I don't get 100 over 100. 100%.
95.
95. But I've still done well anyway.
Yes, you have.
How are you feeling tonight?
By grace, I'm doing amazing. Yourself?
Very well, thanks for asking.
We bless God.
So let's get right into the conversation. Tell us about the foundation.
Okay, so IT for Youth Ghana. We are a non-profit organization that is focused on empowering the youth through technology training and career development programs. So our focus are mainly on girls, SHS graduates who are finding difficulties going to the university or staying home for some time before they go to the university. Also, we look at people with disabilities, those that are unemployed, and other vulnerable groups. So our focus is all these people. We believe technology is a gateway for them to gain financial independence, gain employment, and also be part of the digital world that we are moving in now.
Wow, and I'm tempted to ask, how long has this been in inception?
Yes, we started from 2023. So we've had about 2 batches. We are starting our 3rd batch on the 15th of July. Right.
So, talk to us about some of the projects that you've been working on, since the inception of your foundation.
So, we started by doing the SHS Graduates School. So the SHS Graduate School has focused on SHS, those that are done with senior high school, and obviously those that are having difficulties going to the university. So for them, we do 6 months training for them, and after the 6 months, we take them to institutions to do their internships. So when they are done with the 6 months, they go on 2 months internship with various institutions, and then when they are done, where they did their internships, some of them are maintained, others we look at those that have not been maintained, and we find other avenues or opportunities for them. Others, once they are done, they also wait to join the foundation to train subsequent people. So for the SHS Graduates School, we have the 2nd batch still undergoing training, and then the 3rd batch, they are still doing the registration. It is starting on the 15th.
Okay.
Then another project that we are starting for that is starting on the 16th of July.
Okay.
We are doing it in collaboration with GES, GA East and GA West.
Okay.
So the girls that are graduating from various junior high schools, when they are done, they are going to wait home for about 2 to 3 months before their results come in. Then they will now go to the senior high school. And looking at the way technology is evolving, it has become apparent that every industry requires it. Now, it's not an option whether you would like to be an IT specialist or a computer scientist that you need to start learning IT.
I mean, you have to be IT inclined.
Yes, now no matter whether a lawyer, a doctor, scientist, a teacher, you have to be IT inclined. So we look forward. We are starting with GES, and we are also looking at various sponsors that will be on this amazing project with us. We want to do, for the girls that are graduating from the GHS, we are starting a coding camp. So we are taking them through coding, programming, data analytics, robotics. We are engaging them productively, so they don't even engage in this negative.
This is for how long?
So it's going to be 2 months.
2 months.
So we are starting on the 16th, and that is going to be 2 months. We will also do same for the SHS girls that are completing various senior high schools. We will also do that for them. For
the same duration as well.
Yes, for the same duration, the 2 months. So far we have 3 projects that we are actually currently working on.
Wow, interesting. I mean, half of the times young women or ladies, girls really shy away from IT, coding, robotics. You find just a few who are interested. It's just like mathematics. I hate it when people do the gender thing, that women don't like maths, girls don't like maths, but it's actually a harsh reality. A lot of us, and I think it stems from the way that we approach it. So it's really nice to have, you know, like an initiative like this. I'm sure there's going to be fun ways of getting them to, you know, learn about robotics, to learn about coding and all of that. Right?
Yes, we get that for the schools that I have been to. I get that most of the time. You enter the class, you talk about coding,
and that's like a guy's thing.
And most of the girls are like, we don't like IT, like IT. But then I go to that reality with them that, look, here's the shock. Whether you like it
or not, it's going to stay.
Or even yes, you are going to grow up. And at this time, some people are scared that IT is going to take over their jobs. And so at your age, you are going to grow up in the next 10 years. So
you require it even more than...
You really need it more than, because by the time you grow up, it will be more advanced. So we will not just be talking about AI applications and all that. We will be talking about having some of these robotics and technologies close to us.
I guess these are some of the outreach you have.
Yeah, so this is a registration that is currently ongoing. So the Ghana Education Service, they gathered most of the schools, the JHS 3 candidates. So we had sessions, series upon series, convincing them, letting them know why they need to start learning coding, programming, robotics, and these programs at their younger ages than completing university. And because we looked at it from where we started from, and that is how come we started this new project. We got a number of girls that started registering, and if you ask them why are they joining our foundation to learn IT, they are like, when we are going for job interviews, they ask, what's your level of knowledge in IT? And I tell them, I'm ready to learn. I don't know, but I'm ready to learn. And they will be like, I'll call you.
And they'll never call you.
And they never call
because they want somebody who's already, you know, well versed in that field.
Exactly. So in that case, they now started joining the training. So the point is, if you complete the university before you realize that you don't have knowledge in basic Word, Excel into details to do some analysis, data visualizations and all that, then why don't we start from the JHS, where they are young, where they are now completing their BC and they are going to stay home. Most of them are like, oh, we are going to do Adidas. What are you going to do? So in that case, these people, we can now use their time judiciously to be able to start the training from that end from them. So most of these girls, so we have a number of girls that have registered from various schools that we have visited so far. I think for GA East and GA West, we have almost 700 from GA East, almost 700 from GA West. We've been to a lot of schools, and our team are still at various examination centers, and they are still registering those that are interested in joining the program.
Well, I was going to ask for like a progress report of what you've been doing so far. I mean, the feedback, participation, and all of that. But you have quite summed it all up. About 700, students so far.
Yeah. So this is for the girls that are graduating from their BEC programs.
Okay.
So we've been able to register most of them. So what we do, we take their details, so we contact their parents, update them so they know the centers that they are coming for the training, their timetable, their sessions and all that. So this is the numbers that we have so far for the training. For the previous years training, we've been able to train about 100.
Wow.
So for that it's 6 months. So when you start, it takes quite a lengthy time to complete them. And for that we do programs such as database, secretariatship, we do data analytics, we do coding and programming, back end, front end, we do graphic design, video editing, we do website design, UI, UX. So these are the programs we have been doing with these people previously also. So all those you are seeing in the classrooms, they've been coming to our center to go through the training. But this time around, we are doing it for the girls that are completing their BC.
Wow.
So that is the numbers that have registered so far, and the program is starting on the 16th of July.
I mean, it's going to start soon. What is the registration process, or is it already closed? Is it still open to people to register? What does it take to want to be a part of this, if you want to be a part of this?
Okay, so for the registration process, we have it on our website, but we know how the whole thing is. I have a lot of people who are not IT inclined.
Yeah, they find it a bit complicated when you start to do the
yes, register on the website, register on the website. So those that will actually like to register on our website, they can just type IT for Youth Ghana on Google, or they can type itforyouthgh.com. Once you type itforyouthgh.com, you will see JHS Tech Camp on our menu.
Okay.
Then you click on it, then you do the registration. But those that cannot register, the parents and the awards, as you are watching me from GA East, GA West, and once you can move to these various centers, just take note of the date and make your child be aware of it. If you are watching, you can also tell your parents to be aware of it. Then the registration, you can either do it on our website, like I've said, or on the 16th, your ward can now come, or the parent can come to the center and then do the registration.
And where is the center located?
You said?
The center is located at?
You see, we have our main center, Kwabenya Musuku.
Okay.
But we are working with GS, and we've now spoken to some people in GIFEC. We've also sent an official proposal to them. They said they are going through. So we believe the way they are so much interested in having girls in IT and all that, they are going to also come on board. We want to use the GIFEC centers in the municipalities to add to our center at Kwabenya Musuku. Because we have quite a number of them that cannot come to our center due to their distance and all that. And if we believe GIFEC's own will work, but we are also speaking to other centers to see how they can collaborate, if not the conditions, the price, and all that we can put in place. So before the 16th, we should be able to have centers at various zonals within the municipality that students that cannot come to IT for Youth Ghana can easily go to these centers. And for the registration, for the 2 months training, IT training is quite expensive. And for the 2 months training, we're looking at 500 cedis for those that are coming to participate. But we wanted majority of girls to be able to go through the training. I
mean, to be able to afford it.
Yes, to be able to afford. And even when we go out, we have a number of them that will just come. Please, what if my parents cannot afford? And then some will even say that I'm staying with someone, I really want to do this training, but the person will not be willing to pay. Or my parents cannot actually pay. So we are now looking for partners to be able to subsidize this price to 150 cedis. So that most students, most girls will be able to... For the entire 2 month period? Yes, for all the 2 months, yes. Wow. So if they are able to even subsidize this 500 cedis, then some of them, or they will pay the 150 cedis. So on our website, we have written it there as those that are coming to participate, the girls that are registering, they will be paying a subsidized fee of 150 cedis. So we are now looking at various institutions and individuals that would like to have most of these young girls go through the tech and programming courses to subsidize the amount for them to be able to pay this 150 cedis. And even those that cannot pay at all can also go through the training.
Right. Interesting. So all they have to do is to register for this very important activity on your website, IT for Youth Ghana or itforyouthgh.com, right? Yes. And it's starting on the 16th of July.
Yes, it's starting on the 16th of July. Yes.
Wow. And it looks like you've put very comprehensive measures in place to ensure that this happens. I'm going to ask of how you have structured this program to ensure its effectiveness. What is it going to entail? What's going to happen on this day, that day? What is the entire structure of this activity?
Okay, so for the program structure, I've been working with my team so well with GGS to make sure we get a full impact of it as well. So we planned, we have various coding instructors that have registered with us to come and be instructors at the program at various centers. They are actually waiting to start the whole thing. We have a number of them that are volunteering, a number of them too, they are being paid because it's quite,
expensive.
And then, yes. And then for the program, we are looking at doing programming for the first month for them, and then we are taking them through data analytics and robotics for the next month. So our focus is that at the end of the program, they should be able to do basic programming activities like creating calculators and creating various small projects in programming. And then for sustainability, we look at making sure they don't just finish these 2 months and that is it. So when they start their senior high school, we want to do it on their vacations. So on their vacations, they come back and they will continue our coding and programming with them.
So even when they've enrolled, into senior secondary school, when they come back home on vacation, they still will carry it forward and continue with the training.
Yeah, so we believe by the end of their senior high school education, they should also have some valuable insights in coding and programming. So at that point, they should be able to build a little advanced programs as well. And then I'm sure within East Ga West, we'll have a lot of programmers that we can raise from these girls.
Wow, interesting. When you start to talk robotics and programming and data analytics and all of that, sometimes these young girls tend to get scared.
Exactly.
So how are you going to make this attractive enough for them to be able to pay attention? Because it's really sometimes very difficult to, give IT and all of that your maximum attention. So have you thought of ways that you can, creative ways of getting them to, pay attention so that they get the most out of this training?
Yes, we are much aware. We see when it comes to education, the approach is very important. The approach can incite somebody who doesn't even feel like to be more engrossed in it, and then somebody who is very scared to now feel very relaxed and be able to go through that. We have girls that are doing programming at our center, going through 6 months training, and you can see the enthusiasm
with which they do it,
at which they do the program. So what we focus on is, if you want someone or you want a student to be much engrossed in something you are teaching, I have been teaching for some years. So if you want some people or some students to be much interested in what you are doing, you have to make it lively, more related to their daily things, their daily activities. The approach you use shouldn't be more of, most people go through coding and all that in a mathematical way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So if they are teaching coding, they are teaching programming, the examples are all mathematics.
Yes.
There is more of only the analogies, and everything is more mathematics. So it makes somebody who is first of all scared of math, physics, and all that. It puts them off totally. Exactly. But then we look at using more of the problem-solving activities that are around us.
Practical activities.
Exactly. From our homes, around our school, everything, and then include some games and all that in it.
That is very important.
Yes, which
I'm happy that you're doing that, because I was really thinking of what approach you're going to use, because my own experience from school, well, I was really good in IT. I mean, it wasn't as serious, it's not the whole programming and all of that, but I was, fairly good in IT in school, and I had an IT teacher who liked me a lot in secondary school because he saw that I had the interest in doing it. But now I've even abandoned it anyway, because I find myself in an entirely different field. But the experience, what I remember when it comes to IT and mathematics is the approach, because it's always the way they go about it, and then you tend to lose interest in it because you think that, what are they even saying?
Exactly.
This and that, and then you sit in the class and you're confused. So in order for this, particular training to be very effective, it's good that you have these well thought through practical examples and activities that will make them sustain their interest in learning the IT, which you've spoken about. So I'm really happy that there is that. But if someone is watching, youthful like yourself as well, who wants to, sort of render some sort of help, volunteer, is that possible for this training program?
That is, it's actually what we are looking for. We keep calling on the youth, especially professionals in IT in the field, to join us. We keep calling you to join us, because what we are doing, it's more of a movement. So it is not my project, it's not my team's project.
You are championing it.
It is, yes, it is our project. It's everybody who is in Ghana, who is interested in making an impact in the society and changing somebody's life. And we are calling on all professionals in coding, robotics, programming, graphic design, video editing, web design, UI, UX. We are calling all of you, especially towards these JHS girls that are completing their BC, and then the SHS graduates as well. This is a way that you can contribute immensely to the lives of these younger generations, to make an impact in their lives, to also see that I was able to take this number of people through tech training. Even though you went to school and probably you paid, we can be able to make it very much affordable and free for those that cannot, to be able to also gain this knowledge. Because where we are moving to, if these people get this technology, we believe it is one key part of starting financial freedom in their lives. Because our training, if we have most of these go through, IT is one of the best ways that secures freelancing for a lot of people. Remote jobs. There are a lot of jobs that is highly difficult to do remote, but when it comes to IT, there are a lot of most opportunities. And we believe that if you join us to do this training, you are giving most of these girls the opportunity that when they are done with their senior high school, they can be self-reliant, they can be able to earn something with the skills that they've been able to get, and then they can also be part of any industry that is also building on. Because now you see, most industries are looking forward to invest in technology. A lot of them, they are looking forward to invest in technology, making changes to their structures, and some are having forecasts for how they are going to bring innovation. And if the younger generation are not also brought up to within that same limelight, by the time they are done with school, institutions will now go back, recruit them, take them back to some tech training, or invite an IT specialist to come and train them again. But when we start with them, it gives them the opportunity to become highly employable, self-reliant, and be able to do a lot of things for themselves.
Absolutely.
So joining us to train these people as a volunteer is a good way of you making a mark in the society and the community around you as well.
I mean, it's important to make an impact,
yes,
no matter how small it is.
No matter how small
you participating in this is actually going to leave a mark in the life of the girl child who is going to participate in this activity. I mean, you seem to have everything well put together, but I'm sure that, I mean, every now and then you may encounter some challenges. Do you want to share that with us? How has it been putting this whole thing together, from, you know, the foundation to the trainings and all of that?
For the challenges,
the high alone gives it away.
you know, starting this and putting in the plans, saying this, it looked easy. It looked easy, but the implementation and the work itself has been very challenging. It has been very difficult. I've encountered a number of challenges since I started in 2023, which has mainly been finance. In 2023, I was fortunate. I think you said you are doing amazing. You are doing amazing, but I don't think I'm doing amazing.
Yeah, for those of us sitting outside, you might think you've got it all.
Yes, I don't think I'm doing amazing. I believe someone like Stanbic Bank, they are doing amazing. Honorable Michael Quay Jr., he is doing amazing. Honorable Kwesi Pratt, he's right opposite our training center. His house is opposite our training center. He is doing very well. And other individuals that since we started in 2023, they coming in to support in their own way. I created a fundraising platform to help us to be able to train more girls in IT.
Okay.
Those people that have donated 10 CDs, 20 CDs, they are doing amazing. Because without them, I'm not sure any of these things that I'm talking about would even be a reality. Last year, for instance, Stanbic Bank heard about what we are doing, and the marketing team contacted us, and then they came to support us to get computers for one of our classrooms. And then Honorable Kwesi Pratt Jr. also came to give us a laptop to boost us to be able to do our training. We also had Honorable Michael Quay coming in to give us some funds for matriculation that we were doing for our first batch of students. But since we began this year, we've not been able to receive any funding support, and most of these things has been coming from me. I do printing. I have a printing business, so I do printing, and most of the time I have to take money from my printing to be able to finance the activities. You know, our activities is a year-round project. It is not those, you see, our foundation is not focused on giving you food, giving you clothes, giving you pad, but our focus is on giving you the skills so that you buy your own part, giving you the skills so you can work. We have a number of our students now that they work for people, not because they work for an organization, they work for people. They design, they do websites, they create videos, they do works for people, and they charge. So that is more like the person working for him or herself. And so our training is more year-round, and look at the challenges that comes around. It's just like a school. So a school that is not having funding, and you have these students that will keep coming to the school, like they will come every day, and when they come, you are using internet. The teachers that are coming to teach, you give them allowance to be able to have their transportation. When we started from 2023, the teachers that were coming, they were coming for free as volunteers for free. But one big challenge I realized, I had most of them leaving because Ghana is hard. Yeah. And the person will take his own transportation, coming to teach, and so it became apparent that you need to be able to take care of some of their needs as well. And looking at paying all these people coming to train the girls, coming to train them as they come to the center, rent for the center, paying electricity bill. Because if your light is off, it means you cannot do the training. Right. Whether the students are there, whether the moderators are there, you cannot do the training. When they come, it's an IT project. You need to have internet for them. Yes. Last month, our internet was elapsed. They disconnected our internet, and it took like 3 weeks. I was talking to friends, talking to family, to be able to. It must have been frustrating. It's very frustrating. Even last month, today is almost 9th. I'm supposed to pay the moderators their allowances.
So at this point, maybe you should, speak to your sponsors. Your potential sponsors might be watching us right now, because I'm sure you need a lot of, sponsorship to help facilitate this project.
Yes, the nature of our training. If you don't help us, most people will hear what we are doing, see what we are doing, and they are like, "You are doing a great job. You are doing well." But I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing well. It is you that can help us do well. Well, whatever we have been doing is because someone has supported us in a way from the beginning. So if you like what we are doing and it is touching you to impact in the lives of these girls, to be able to train these JHS girls that are completing their BEC and train more people in technology, then this is the time you can come in and partner with IT for Youth Ghana or sponsor IT for Youth Ghana to be able to go through this training. The JHS Tech Camp, we are looking forward to offer this 2 months training. The budget and the cost is actually at recharging the students 500 cedis for the 2 months, but we want to make it 150 cedis so we get more of these girls, and even those that are saying the parents cannot afford to still go through this tech training. We see it as more of a basic necessity for most of these people at the fundamental level. So we really need you to be part of us, to come on board, to be able to sponsor, to be able to support. Actually, nothing is too little. Nothing is too little. If you are giving us 10 cedis, you are giving us 20 cedis. If we have about 100,000 people, everybody giving us 10 cedis, we'll be able to train over 25,000 people. Or we'll be able to get computers, we'll be able to pay for the rent of our training center. I managed to pay that last year, but it is getting close. And that one is even scaring me more. The most. Because I want to be able to train most of these people, my team, and all the volunteers, all those that are coming. We want to be able to train most people. But we believe that if we are training them, you are training them. It is your efforts that is training them. It's not me. Because at the end of the day, these people are part of the society. And if their lives are changing, they wouldn't be on a burden on the society. And if you're an organization to making such an impact will be a future benefit to you, because you have most of these girls now trained in IT. And so if you are looking for people to employ, it becomes easy for you.
Very easy, yeah.
You can just even reach out to IT for Youth Ghana. I need this number of people to come and volunteer. Which fields are they in? And then quickly we can just let them come in, do their internship with you, and then potentially you employ them to be part of your organization.
Right.
So I believe you helping us to even make an impact in the lives of these young people, in the end benefits organizations, benefits their lives,
and
benefits the whole society in the end as well. So please, if you leave this on me alone, you might not even see the whole thing that we want to execute. And the progress of all these things we starting might be in vain. So if we want to have the success and ensure this program is touching more lives, then we need you to be part of it.
Absolutely.
We need you to be to come on board. We need you to donate any little amount that you can. If you go to our website, itforyouthgh.com, you see our donate button, and you can donate any amount you want to support us to be able to train these people. And also you can reach out to us to partner with us, be on our banners, be on any of the programs that we are doing.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about partnership actually, but you've taken us right into it, so you might as well finish it.
Okay, so yes, talking about partnership, you wanting to be a part of this amazing project, changing lives. We believe going to the streets to give people food and pads and clothes are mostly important because they need it as at the time that you are giving them. But if you give them food for the day, the next day they will still come back begging. If you give them pads, they will still buy it next month. But if we believe we are able to impact them with skills that are in demand, technology skills that are so needed, we'll be able to change a lot of things within our community and our society. So if you want to partner us, you can just reach out to us, and then we look at various partnership options so you can be part of this amazing project that we are doing for the community.
Absolutely. I'm sure with the way you've spoken, you are so like passion driven and all of that. Your sponsors, potential sponsors or partners are watching you and will definitely reach out to you. You've left your, handle, social media or the website.
Okay.
Retrace that again so that we can. To
reach our numbers, you can contact us on 0548 322 922.
Okay.
0548 322 922 or 0596 244 834. 0596 244 834. Or once you go to our website itforyouthgh.com, you will see all the things that we have been doing. Read a lot more about us. Our contact details are there, and anything that you want to find out about us, they are there. And also on all social media handles, once you type IT for Youth Ghana, our activities and all that will also pop up.
Very interesting. It's interesting to know how, you're so passionate about this. You want to see it succeed. And you're talking about how, it's these people who have helped who are amazing. You are actually amazing for actually thinking about this, putting it together, and actually wanting to organize a training like this for young girls. It's really a well thought through thing because it's a field that people shy away from, especially the young girls. So I like the concentration that you're giving to them. But are there any other, projects that you're coming up with aside this training and so on that you want to share with us?
Basically, for us, we are so engrossed in IT. So all our projects are around IT. All our projects are around IT. The new one that we are looking forward to is our training has been physical all this while. So people are mostly supposed to come to our center to be able to go through the training. Okay. So now the new one that we are working on is having our training sessions online, which comes with a number of logistics to be able to make it possible. But we believe we'll be able to get a number of sponsors to make this possible. So we want to have our training online, and the online is targeting university girls.
Okay.
So we have a number of girls that are in the university, and most of them are scared of IT. And you know, when you are done with the university, that is where the reality hits you, where you realize things that you were scared of, you are meeting them first.
Yeah.
And you can't move away. You see, your field, you might not be interacting directly with IT, but you meet IT on your way.
Of course.
One way or the
Of
other.
course.
And if you don't know your ways around it at all, you always have to rely on people,
Absolutely.
to be able to do that. And if your field, even though you may not call it an IT field, but you need IT tools to be able to execute them.
I mean, our world revolves around IT these days.
Exactly. And now you see, we went to one of the assemblies, and then we were discussing this whole IT thing, and then I started talking about AI. And most of them started asking, so how do we use AI to do this? You said we can use AI to do this. We can use AI to organize office documents. We can use AI to be able to take minutes itself, and it will transcribe the minutes. It will make them typed as well, no matter the length of the conference that we have gone to and all that. Which platforms are you talking about? I just mentioned the names, and it was still not easy, to come up with it. So if we engage most of these in various training programs, the girls in the universities, I believe most of them can be able to partake in our online trainings. So we train them in some of these basic programming and take them through Python and other things, AI. Also, they can be abreast with the...
And even creation of websites, all those things, you do that as well?
Is that?
I mean, even creation of websites and all of that, especially for those coming out of the university. You know, sometimes they enter into businesses, establish a website for yourself, how to do all these basic things.
Yes, we have website designing, UI, UX, a 6 months program.
Wow.
So all this that I'm saying, if let's say you are a university girl and then you visit our website, when you go there, all our courses are there: front end, back end, coding, website designing, database. So whichever one you choose, then it takes you to our registration site. You fill in your details, and then you register to be part of the program. One other project that we are looking forward to start, which we are working on to be able to start soon, is to be able to offer AI training to some of these ministries and assemblies.
Okay.
Most of them, they need it to be able to do their office works and increase their efficiency. So these are the things that we are working on. Our focus is purely IT.
Okay.
We focus on making sure a lot of people are training IT as much as possible.
Right. It is very important because we live in an IT world today, and if you do not learn how to wrap your hands or your arms around IT, then that is going to be big trouble for you. So I'm happy that all of this has been put together by Peter Diodu.
Yes, yes. You got it, Peter.
You know, I just remembered that I had to say it right before I got into trouble.
Yes.
And I did say it right.
And just one more. For parents that are watching us, this GHS tech camp for girls is very important. And then we want you to be aware that no matter what, your children are coming to meet an IT advanced world. You can look at farming, for instance. Agriculture. When speaking to parents, you realize how farming was being done about a decade ago has changed entirely. In Ghana, you may not be witnessing it in your farm, but by the time they grow up, it is coming. Now we have a lot of technological advancement in various medical centers. Most of them are using it for surgeries, for assisting in delivery, for assisting in a lot of medical activities. And so if somebody wants to be a medical doctor and the person says, okay, I'm learning medicine, or I'm going to learn medicine, I'm interested in science, what do I need IT for? That is where the person is now heading into. So if you're a parent and you're watching me, IT is actually taking over the world now. And it is a must that you let your ward participate in this girls and GHS graduate tech camp, because it is very important and it is going to help them a lot. Within this time they are waiting home, if they are sleeping and eating and all that, it doesn't really add anything much to them, anything valuable to them than going through such training.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So it is important that you let them come and learn coding, programming, robotics. It's 2 months. And when they come, it will not even take the whole day. It's going to be 2 hours.
Okay.
And the session is 3 times within a week.
Okay.
So your child, if your child is coming at 8 o'clock, by 10, he or she is done. Okay. If he's coming or she's coming at 10 o'clock, by 12 o'clock, she's done.
Absolutely.
She can come home to assist you in anything so far that you are doing at home.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Peter. He is the founder of IT for Youth Ghana. We've been having conversations around IT and the upcoming training, which is slated for the 16th of July 2024. He's given us, the rundown, what is going to happen, how to register your wards. He's also mentioned you can log on to itforyouthgh.com to register as well. We put up the numbers on your screens that you can call for further details and information as well. This has been The Couch right here on Pan-African Television, and we're pleased to have had your company for the past few minutes. My name is Makiza Micheline Latifa, and I have been sitting in for your regular host, Mami Ama Pratt. Have a good evening.
Truly African.
Ha! How can we have some local fast food? Papa! Me again? Yes, we are late. Me quite remember who hear me. Mentally, I sent my friend doctor when I'm crossing over. See what we swear.